After becoming emperor as just a child, Theodocious IV is now a man, the fourth generation of House Angelos. He is very keen to continue his dynasty's dream of restoring the Roman Empire. But before he does so, he wants to dismantle the German pretenders inside the Holy Roman Empire. Theodocious is not only the youngest member of House Angelos to ascend the throne, he is also the highest educated. He knows that the more land he can claim before founding his new Roman Empire, the harder it will be for others to question its legitimacy. Expansion will be important, but the realm is also looking to Theodocious to hold it together. On top of his own conquests, his vassals are expanding in Africa, the Middle East, the Steppe, and even Scandinavia. Theodocious has to keep it all together. I am going to be scheduling the 1,000 subscriber celebration live stream very soon, so keep an eye on that and tune in if you can. Subscribe if you haven't already, and consider becoming a channel member to support the channel. Enjoy the rest of the video. The first ever child emperor of House Angelos has made it to adulthood. Theodocious IV here, really good character, unbelievable traits already. Drunkard did come out of nowhere. The actual trait itself doesn't bother me a huge amount, but I do hate the way it makes Theodocious look. Something we may look into doing is actually going into the learning tree. I believe either down theologian or scholar and doing certain things like pilgrimages. It is possible to get an event that could actually remove drunkard, but from my understanding it doesn't typically target drunkard a lot. It's still very RNG. We may look into it later. We'll probably want to pick up sort of whole of body and know thyself eventually, but we're quite young for now, so we are going to stay in the diplomacy tree. Try and pick up some perks here like True Ruler so we can get even more vassals and vassalize people a little bit easier. Other than that, what is on the agenda for today? Our legend has finally spread to 300 baronies. We just need to increase the quality one more time and then complete it. That will enable us to reassert the Holy Mission and go for another kingdom inside the actual Holy Roman Empire itself. We may pick up Germany first with the ultimate goal of taking Lothringia here, as Lothringia is what we need in order to take the decision to dismantle German pretenders, which is the primary focus that we are going for. Obviously, the overall goal of the series is to restore the Roman Empire. We just need Croatia. It looks like our vassals may actually win the war for the lands that we need. We're going to try and hold off on actually forming the Roman Empire just yet, though. I would like to form some other empires, so if we could dismantle German pretenders and then take the actual empire title itself over here, as well as maybe even grabbing the Arabian Empire, as we're pretty close to that. We have 36. We need 45. The more empires we can form before clicking Restore the Roman Empire, the better, as they will all then fall de jure under the Roman Empire itself. But I will say that before Theodocious dies, I do want him to be the one that eventually actually restores the Roman Empire. We will have done it in 4 generations, but there's still lots to do until we can press that button. First and foremost, we are not married and we need a spouse. The good news is because of our kind of titanic strength at the moment of 20,000 men, we don't really need to marry for alliances. What I would like is somebody who is young, so we can have lots of children, and ideally has some inheritable traits as well. I think if we can actually start to continuously get better and better traits inside the family, that would be amazing. We are intelligent, which is very nice to see. We may even just go for someone else who is intelligent, see if we can make sure that intelligent is actually inherited, possibly even upgraded into genius, for example. Over time, if we can start to actually embed decent traits within House Angelos, and we get a trait from the Bright Minds, Beautiful Characters, Physical Specimens, and then either Genius, Beautiful, or Herculean, as well as 0 bad congenital traits, we could even attempt to strengthen House Angelos' bloodline. This would give us strong blood, which would be an insanely nice trait. We may also want to rotate our Dynasty Legacy focus into blood, so we get a higher chance of inheriting those good congenital traits as well as reinforcing them. That would help a lot when it comes to actually strengthening the bloodline. I'm going to marry Marta Karamallos over here. She is 16 years old, actually a bastard, but is intelligent and also has the virtuous trait of forgiving as well. This will then reinforce the trait, so as both parents have it, it will get inherited, and it might even intensify, resulting in genius. So we're going to go with this. I think this makes a ton of sense. We'll see how that goes. Now, we are going to collect the 500 gold from our people here to celebrate the wedding and also get us out of debt, which will be very nice indeed. Rather than immediately upgrading the legend, though, what I'm actually going to do is hold a chariot race, so we can actually get a nice bit of gold behind us, and then we can upgrade that legend and stay in the positive. I'm going to focus on appeasing the populace in my first chariot race. Let them know that I am here for them. We're going to go for spectacles, max amount, and let's start this chariot race. Theodocious' first ever chariot race as emperor. Speaking of dynasty legacies, we've just unlocked another one, so I will actually go for noble veins here for the increased chance of inheriting good traits as well as gaining new good ones. Lots of people also had different ideas around where to sort of take the series next. What I can say is that we are absolutely going to dismantle the German pretenders, take all of this land here, possibly even Iberia as well, try and just end the Iberian struggle, have that part of the Roman Empire as well. From there, we've had some different ideas. Some people have said give independence to everything outside of the initial Roman borders. Other people have said sort of go into spectator mode and just see how House Angelo survive. Others have said sort of in the same save, continue, but as House Scleros, see if I can take down my own family. So let me know how those different ideas appeal to you, what you would maybe like to see. What I can clearly see is that everybody wants this to continue. I am more than happy to continue it, and we will keep driving it forward until we've achieved all of our goals, and then we'll try and find a nice way to end it. People were also talking about cultures and what different types of cultures would make sense to either form a hybrid culture with. I think people were talking about sort of Italian as an example. So sort of creating like a somewhat like a neo-Roman kind of culture between sort of old Greek and new Italian. I quite like that idea. We would need to increase the cultural acceptance and whatnot. I do think for the time being, though, I might just reform Greek and actually establish a new tradition here. It would take 30 years. I mentioned previously that we may have actually gone for by the sword with no limit to the number of kingdom level holy wars. I think like that may help us, but realistically with the amount of Orthodox that is now all across the actual like Western world here, I don't really think that is going to be an insane advantage to us. It will be if we want to expand out this way, so maybe we take it in case we decide we want to go in a different direction. But I was thinking perhaps instead going for something like loyal subjects. So vassals of this culture do not consider differing faith or culture when joining factions. They will often learn the language of their liege. The loyal trait is more common, and all Greek characters gain +10 opinion of their liege, as well as +5 popular opinion. This seems quite strong. I think I may actually put this one in. We'll establish it for now anyway, and then when this finishes in 30 years, then we can have a look around if we actually want to form a hybrid culture of some sort. I have the ability to have the Queen of Bohemia here spread my legend, but if I guess incorrectly, I'm going to get another critical stress break. I guessed incorrectly. You know what? I'm actually going to change my intent for just recreation here, because green teams, of course. I'm going to change for recreation because we're actually at level 1 here, and I would like to just be closer to 0, to be honest. Good news, we finished the coinage innovation, which now means we have enough innovations that when it becomes 1050 AD, we can start actually getting high medieval innovations, which will be very, very nice. This is also what will unlock the ability for us to actually build the granaries that we need in Egypt to reinstate the grain dole as well. For now, though, I'm going to pick up bailiffs. Glory Hound vassals will be more common, and we get an additional building slot in our holdings as well, which will be huge. Our 43 learning is going to help a lot here as well, because it's currently expected to be finished in 18 years, and if I focus on it, it goes down to 8. The chariot race is now finished. It managed to take all of our stress away, which is huge, and we now have some gold to play with. First things first is going to be upgrading our legend to the maximum quality, and then we can complete this in about a year. Main reason for this is that it is becoming insanely expensive. 86 gold a month to promote this currently. What I can do now, at least, though, is I can take all of my court positions off of spreading the legend. That's all taken care of, thank you. Our uncle Daniel has been killed. One tale ends and another begins. Your heir Daniel fell from a mountain trail. To be fair, falling from a mountain trail at 89 years old when you're infirm is actually pretty impressive. He almost made it to 90. Our new heir is Megistos of Armenia here, whose father was Theodorios, and his father was Justinian. Justinian was Georgios's other son. So we went down the Clement route here. So Clement was Georgios's youngest son, as you probably remember, and that's now the line that we are in. But interestingly, it is back all the way under Justinian now that our heir currently resides. Unless something goes horribly wrong, it's unlikely to be him, but that is how it currently stands. We have our first diplomacy perk here. I'm going to start with Benevolent Intent. The early ones aren't that great, but as we move down to Inspiring Rule and True Ruler, those ones have some nice bonuses for us. Now, we're also going to hold a triumph. This is to symbolize our war over Bavaria before we were even a fully grown adult. This time we will go to the Hagia Sophia. We shall consecrate our victory to God. I dislike eunuchs so much. I don't even have a chief eunuch, but sometimes they just sort of spawn and start doing things in court. I'm going to say not necessary. We're going to gain Spurned Eunuch once again. I think I actually have the ability to send eunuchs to people. For example, if I go over here and I do, where is it? Offer eunuch, and I just send you over, he'll gain opinion of me and will also gain some influence. You can have him. I don't even want them. And we'll send the other one to our half-sister over here as well. Our level of splendor just increased another level. We are now officially a legendary family. Look at this. My vassals were actually able to grab the land needed inside Croatia. So I believe now we hold every single piece of land that we need to restore the Roman Empire. All we need to be is a legendary figure, and we can make this decision. We've turned 18 years old and now immediately have a full beard. We can now officially complete our legend for the spiritual triumph of orthodoxy. The miracles of Basilius Clement once again, because we named this after our father, so be it. Now, we'll clear ground for another legendary shrine, because why not? We'll do this over in Tivoli, actually. We will, of course, reassert the Holy Mission, giving us access to another Holy War. Now, we still have a truce with the Holy Roman Empire for another 3 months. That doesn't bother me an insane amount, though. Our vassals are still fighting them. So the ruler of Africa here is still going for these lands. Looks like she might actually be in a bit of trouble, though, troop-wise. I suspect she's winning because the HRE are just struggling with supply or something over here. If we go to war with her, it will invalidate it. Somebody also pointed that out in the last episode where I said that my vassals lost the war for Croatia, but it was actually because they were at war with the HRE, and when I went to war, it invalidated it. The focus is still going to be me, though. We can always take Africa or whatever other lands are up here. What kingdom is this? To here? Up here? We can take this ourselves later if needed. We want to get nice and close to Lotharingia so that we can actually dismantle these German pretenders. Now, the Kingdom of Lotharingia hasn't actually been formed inside the HRE, so we can't do a holy war for the title. We can do one for Germany, though, so we'll start with this land up here. We'll split the Holy Roman Empire, not exactly in half, but we'll isolate these lands over here. Should make it a bit easier for our vassals to clean all of this up, and then we'll push into Lotharingia as needed, grabbing the titles we need to dismantle the German pretenders. Amazing! Empress Martha is already pregnant. I cannot wait to hold the babe in my arms. Now, I would like to immediately start the legend going again, just so that we have the ability to immediately go for another kingdom when the truce cools off with the HRE after our next war. But first, I want to build out the army. When we lost and then got Latium back again, we lost all our mangonels. So I'm rebuilding that up inside of this theme army. Everything else is fairly strong, though. No real issues. And I want to make sure that I'm upgrading whatever I can at the moment as well. Not a huge amount left to upgrade, but here and there are some buildings that still can be upgraded. Okay, it is time for us to go for the Kingdom of Germany here. I think they're still fighting in wars against my vassals. It's likely going to be invalidated, but I don't want to wait. If this man ends up dying or something happens, that's a wasted opportunity for us to not have to wait for an actual truce to cool down. So we're going to just go for it now that we are ready. Let's declare this holy war and get after it. Quite strange, though, because there's lands that are not inside the HRE that is the Kingdom of Germany, but then the majority of the actual Germany lands are inside the HRE. Very strange. Ladies and gentlemen, the first child born is a son. We at least are not going to have the same issue we had previously. Now, we are very young to be having a son. By the time we are looking towards succession, this man could be quite old indeed, but he is a genius. It happened. Genius, born in the purple and consecrated blood. We're going to name this child Augustus, another nice, strong Roman name. What a beautiful way to kick off this war with the HRE. I've also called in my allies over in India. I don't even know if they'll get here before we finish this up, but I figured why not? We have so much prestige. Now, I was having a look across the HRE to see if I could find their capital to maybe siege it down and just get a lucky prisoner or something. Turns out they moved their capital down here, inside of Northern Africa. I suspect their armies may even be down here as well, since they were fighting Africa. But I'm going to take a look. If they show up here, I may even move the troops down. It looks like it may be more of a conventional war this time, though. So we'll keep carpet sieging for the time being. Oh, Scourge of the Bosphorus once again. Now, previously, we had a very low percentage chance of actually stopping the beast. We typically went for the middle option here, which essentially is a slight debuff to taxes and development growth, but at least some popular opinion. I think, though, we will try and actually stop the Scourge of the Bosphorus once and for all. 72% chance we get bested the beast, which is amazing. There is a 27% chance, though, that we are bested by the beast and get Scourge of the Straits, which is not good at all. But let's do it. It must be stopped by any means. We actually did it. We have actually bested the beast. That's quite nice. It's the first time in a while that we have a ruler that doesn't have to just deal with the debuff in the actual capital. Oh, here's the army. Here they are. Here they are. Send everyone. Here we go. We actually... Oh, look at this. We managed to split them into absolute prime military tactics here. This is what we like to see. This is what we like to see. Finish these off over here as well, please. Amazing. We're up to 69% already. Few more sieges and we'll be good to go. There we go. Enemy combatants captured. Once again, we captured the Emperor. Pepin, stop leading your armies. It's a bad idea. We will enforce our demands here. Once again, that is another victory for Theodocious, and we now hold Germany. It should be relatively easy for us to pick up the remaining German states as well. We can't actually usurp the kingdom title because they are now considered to be a hostile faith. We will need to take all of this. Shouldn't be an issue though. 60 out of 10 domain limit. I'm going to go and hand all this off. Now this is interesting. I am being told that the realm will lose some land if the HRE loses this war of the Piedmontese claim on the Holy Roman Empire. The thing is, the man who is attacking here of Piedmont is technically my vassal. He is under the actual Catapan of Italy, but he is my vassal. Because he's not my direct vassal, I can't really tell him not to actually join this war. If he manages to win this, it's going to be a problem. He is currently winning, but our war at least is now finished. Hopefully, the HRE can gather up their men and actually put him down, because I don't want one of my vassals to hold the Holy Roman Empire. On top of the fact that it would splinter our realm, he's also Orthodox, which means that if he did take the realm, we couldn't do a holy war against him. The Holy Roman Empire are also in other wars as well, including an Orthodox uprising. We'll have to see. Hopefully, though, this Piedmontese claim doesn't come through. That would put a severe spanner in the works. I will evangelize the realm anyway. That should help spread orthodoxy in and around Germany, where we've taken some lands, as well as just sort of down here as well, where... Actually, they've already converted it. We can also evangelize the pagans once again. Where are we going this time? Norwegians. Amazing. I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm actually going to try and revoke the actual governor who controls Italy. 72% chance he will accept. This could go very poorly, but I want to try and do this so I can force the Piedmontese to stop. Okay, he accepted. He accepted. Good man. You're a good man from House. I'm going to pin you. I'm going to remember this. Now we can go to Piedmont, and we can actually say, please stop your vassal war. An obedient servant is a good servant. The Piedmontese claim on the Holy Roman Empire has ended in a white peace. Whew, that was close. I just feel like the HRE could have actually lost that. They're fighting in 3 other wars at the moment, and they are significantly weakened. We are in this unique sort of spy master-esque position of trying to dismantle the HRE, but making sure nobody actually beats us to it. The longer the HRE can remain in power and Catholic, the better for us. We're also going to be declaring war on these German states on cooldown, just to grab the remainder of what we need. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but we'll grab it all eventually and it'll be fine. I would leave it up to the vassals, but because we can't actually usurp the theme, it's just sort of counties around the other states. So I don't actually think they'll move in on it independently. And if they did, it could be actually kind of difficult for them. We've inherited a holy war for the Emirate of Oman. Where is this? So it's actually two wars. One of them is this county here attacking for the theme that my vassals just conquered, as well as a holy war for it by a kingdom over here in India. Now, thankfully, I think that our actual holy orders should be more than enough to deal with this independently. There we go. That's the holy war dealt with at the very least. We'll enforce our demands here. It's always so funny when we inherit these, because it's just like a few hundred men that were going for it before we actually ended up taking it. Evangelizing the Norwegians has also been a success. We can now also vassalize him. I think he's just a count, though. Wait, whoa. What? The Norwegians were over here. What is going on with the cultures over here? Why is there a Norwegian? Presumably, once upon a time, these were a Satru? Yeah, I assume it was like an Asatru adventurer that came over here and now holds these lands. Either way, they're ours now. Now, we can also officially create the Arabian Empire, which is absolutely fantastic. That is another empire that will be de jure Roman. Now, we have another diplomacy perk here. I'm going to take Praetorian Guard for the increased bodyguard aptitude. And next, we'll get True Ruler, which I expect may actually give us some vassalizations that aren't currently available to us. Another son has been born. This one is only intelligent, but still very nice to see. In keeping with the Roman tradition, this child shall be known as Julius. Now, that's the other war that was going for this duchy ended. I can finally enforce demands here and actually give this team away. Now we can refocus on the Germany war. It's going good. They had some troops reappear from the south and the north. They managed to take out some of my besiegers, but we're going to deal with this. Yes, arrange a ceremony. Govern well, govern well. This should be enough to get us there. Maybe one more siege after this. Yes, it is. There we go. Enforce these demands, please, and that is at least some land back. Duchy of Majorca can be created. Excuse me? Who is this? Who has been expanding over here? My spy master on behalf of the Kingdom of Sardinia Kai Korsiki. Sardinia, basically. Okay, amazing. And look at this. Decision available. We can officially click the button to restore the Roman Empire. We are ready to do it. We got the Arabian Empire. We just want to dismantle the German pretenders and we'll be good to go. Now, thankfully, my vassals are using this time to grab some of the land over here, which is what we wanted to see. While we wait on the truce to finish, we will once again start another legend, this time in our own name, to reassert the Holy Mission once again. Now, another goal I think I would like to set for Theodocious here, given how high of a learning type character he is, as well as being zealous, is to actually visit each of the holy sites that we have. So we're going to plan a pilgrimage. Pious pilgrimage. We'll start with Antioch, we'll work our way across Jerusalem, Alexandria, and we'll finish in the Vatican. Oh, look at this. House Konops is now considered a Byzantine powerful family. House Angelos is such a dominant family in the realm that now our cadet branches are other powerful families. Now we have arrived in Antioch and have walked the holy path. Oh my word. It is increasingly clear from the lowest peasant to the most noble of my vassals. They are all whispering my name, whispering of my might, whispering of war. We can say, let the conquest begin. We will gain the trait Conqueror. Our 77 Glory Hound vassals will gain 20 opinion of us for 5 years. The parochial will dislike it, but there's much less of them. We could choose not to take it. The Glory Hounds would not like that though, so of course we are going to say, let the conquest begin. Absolutely ridiculous. 22 years old, and we are now also a conqueror. Now, our pilgrimage is finished. We did take every possible decision to make it more pious. Only got to level 1 though, but that's fine. It's likely also to do with the fact that it's actually rather close to us, but that is one pilgrimage down. Our legend can already be upgraded to level 2. That is amazing. Hopefully we can get to level 3. Look how quickly it's spreading. Look at this. Look at this. We finally have another diplomacy perk, so we can take True Ruler for the offer vassalization acceptance, which will be very nice. I do wonder if that will actually open up any vassals for us straight away. It does. 3 of them. Welcome in. Now, we just returned home. We're going to immediately head out again, this time to Jerusalem. Same as before. Max amount of everything, please. And we are going to focus on zealotry. We have arrived in Jerusalem and we have walked the holy path. Already our legend can now go to level 3 and we can complete it in 4 years. Okay. Amazing. We've had a daughter who was born. She is intelligent and comely. Very nice indeed. Welcome to the family, Sarah. Now, this pilgrimage we got to level 2 at the very least, but we are now finished. Jerusalem, it has been an honor. I'm still really hoping we can meet somebody who can talk us out of our drunkard ways. 55 learning. This is getting ridiculous. Now, my eldest son is now 4. We're going to put him into the martial education, since that's what he has a focus with. We will also educate him, and we will send him to university, just in case he ends up actually becoming our heir. We can also get another perk in the diplomacy tree here, writing history. Stress loss per level of fame is pretty amazing, as well as another 25% legend spread chance. It would be incredible if the Holy Roman Empire just formed Lotharingia so we could actually take it all in one. Otherwise, we might have to go duchy by duchy. Now, in 4 months, our truce with the Holy Roman Empire will be up. We are still waiting to actually finish our legend here. We have to wait another 2 years. Thankfully, though, I was able to take the court positions off of spreading it, so we're back up to a nice amount of income. This is actually spread massively too. 501 baronies is pretty ridiculous, but in 4 months, when our truce is up, I'm going to start going duchy by duchy for the lands that we need inside of the actual kingdom of Lotharingia. If the HRE would just form it, that would be amazing. Until then, it's going to be duchy by duchy. Now, bailiffs has been discovered. That is going to be great for another building slot everywhere. Next up, I suppose we will go for communal government. So counties can now exceed the development penalty of 35. Should help a little bit in our actual capital. If we look at the actual development map, where is it? There we go. As you can see, our capital stands out quite a bit. The development there is currently 74. Here we go, Holy War for Duchy, and we're going to start with Upper Lotharingia over here. Now, it looks like the Emperor is once again leading his own troops over here. If we could catch him, that would be amazing. The rest of the men are going to move in and start sieging down what we need. It's quite nice as well, is it looks like another war into the Luxembourg has just started for the actual Princess Marie's claim on the Holy Roman Empire. Now, Princess Marie is still Catholic, so that's fine. And it wouldn't actually bother me if the Holy Roman Empire changed hands after this. Ideally, we deal with this war, a new emperor or empress comes into power, and then we don't have to worry about having a truce and can immediately go for a second duchy. Can we grab the emperor over here once again? We can! Amazing, amazing. This guy never learns. Trier reconquered, another glorious day for all Romans. Now, the truce with Germany is also up. I'm actually going to do a forced vassalization war. Once he becomes our vassal and we hold all the lands, we can then usurp the titles off of him, and then we can deal with whatever he still holds individually. Now, I'm also seeing the German army up here also being commanded by a ruler. So once again, we're going to send one of our armies up to see if we can just grab him and end this instantly. The extra building slots everywhere is also quite nice, as I am able to build some blacksmiths all over the place, which will give plus 4% holding taxes for the entire holding. Now, can we grab another king over here? This would be incredible. We weren't able to capture him directly, but we at least got a battle out of this, which should speed up the war. There it is, 100%. All of Germany is now ours. Now that we have the king, I'm going to try and demand his conversion. If he refuses to accept, which I expect he will, it will be a crime. So I will say, I will not bargain for your soul. He's now a known criminal. And now we will attempt to imprison him. He is not going to accept this at all. We're going to raise all of our troops once again to put him down. And then Germany will be ours. He has declared war on me with his 204 men. Rally the troops. Now, a war that I am okay with is the Duchess of Normandy here is attacking the HRE for the Kingdom of France. They can take kingdoms as much as they want. Once they don't take Lotharingia or go for the whole empire, I'm fine with that. Now, I think he may actually win this, but as per usual, he is fighting 3 wars at once. It depends where his focus is. Oh my god, they're going to war again for the Holy Roman Empire. Stop this immediately. Stop this immediately. Good man, good man. Once again ends in a white piece. We can take the final diplomacy perk now and gain the trait August. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm now going to rotate into the learning lifestyle focus for a little while. We should be able to blast through this tree with our 52 learning. I think I will go for Know Thyself and possibly a bit down the theologian tree as well. Just hoping that at least while we're in the learning lifestyle focus, we may get an event trigger that would help us remove Drunkard. This is all just because I don't like the way that he looks kind of red. Avaro-Greek has formed between the Greek and Avar cultures. These hybrid cultures are forming all around us. Another historical character, Michael the Stammerer Selos, 11th century Byzantine philosopher, politician, and historian. His most notable work, Coronographia, provides a penetrating and detailed account of Byzantine politics and court life. This man is probably a big reason why we actually have some of the mechanics inside of the Byzantine Empire and even know about them, so he will serve me well. We'll take him into our court, why not? Another son who is also intelligent. You will gain the name Justinian after the man who established House Angelos and kicked all of this off. At long last, we can finally complete another legend here. This will give us the ability to reassert the Holy Mission once again. The first legend completed under Basilius Theodocius' name, however. There it is, the Germany war is officially dealt with. The so-called King of Germany is now in our prison. We cannot revoke the title yet because we do have a truce with him. But this truce will be up in 5 years. We'll hold them in our prison. As soon as it's up, we'll be revoking these titles and handing them out accordingly. Meanwhile, our vassals have been incredibly busy. If we look over here, Georgia has been expanding tremendously over here, deep into the Persian, now Seljuk Empire. I actually want to look at, what is the de jure kingdom over here? It's the Grand Emirate of Dalem here. So I want to revoke off of you these vassals here, and I want to actually make this brand new kingdom so you just don't become incredibly big. There we go. That is Dalem there, officially in its correct borders and granted to somebody new. Massive shout out to Georgia for all that crazy expansion, but we cannot let you grow that big on your own, my friend. On top of that, we've got a lot more vassalization acceptances up over here to the point where we can now also create the Kingdom of White Rus. We're going to grant it to this man here who has accepted to become admin. There you go. And we have our first learning lifestyle perk. We're going to start down whole of body with anatomical studies down to Know Thyself, and then we'll work away from there. We can plan another chariot race. Not that we are stuck for gold at all, but we have been upgrading a lot of the brand new buildings that we created. We have another son who is also intelligent. This one we will name after our father, Clement. That is another chariot race finished. Our gold is now looking super healthy once again, as well as our income. Honestly, there is so much happening now. Our vassals are expanding out in so many different directions. The HRE is still fighting off a ton of different wars. They're actually losing in Normandy's claim for the whole Kingdom of France. They're also losing in Princess Marie's claim on the Holy Roman Empire. And they are defending... Wait, hold on. A holy war for Lower Lotharingia? Who's attacking here? Is this one of our vassals? It is. One of our vassals is also going for Lower Lotharingia, which would actually be incredible. We are waiting until the actual emperor himself changes hands. We can go to war with him again. In the meantime, since we are now a conqueror and have the ability to actually use the forced vassalization Cassius Belli that we used on Germany, I may also use this on Galicia Volhynia as well as Greater Moravia here, and possibly pick up another empire of West Slavia, another empire that could be de jure part of the Roman Empire. But we are very close to dismantling the German pretenders. Then we can do some other kingdom tier wars against the HRE to take another massive piece of land off of them. And once that is done, we are then very close to restoring the Roman Empire proper. But what a character we have become already. 28 years old, a conqueror, and just ridiculous stats. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you to all of our channel members, and a special shout out as always to our Emperor's Hands, Faustspread, and Spencer Roberts. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.